Hey, this is Ross Miller for The Verge for the CES 2015, and I'm here with the RZA. We're here going to talk about the Boom Bapics, talk a little more about Wu-Tang Clan, and probably top 5 a little bit, maybe some comedy. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So is this your first CES here? Is this your first time?
Yeah, I'm a virgin here, man. It's my first time popping this cherry.
Really? What do you think so far? What do you think so far?
So far, I'm having a great time. I've seen some great new product that I'm not used to. I mean, if you're into TVs, don't come here because you won't move. Every step you'll see something else. I mean, I was walking by and they had a brand new 3D TV with a Kung Fu movie on. And I almost sat down and just got popcorn. I think it was 14 Blades they had playing over there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see curved, you're going to see 4K.
Yeah.
Not much 3D anymore. No more 3D, really.
But that one was like a curved 3D or something.
Really?
I mean, it looked like magical.
Did you see any like the Walkman, Pawn, any audio players yet?
I heard about the new Walkman with the new, it's going to have the new, like you could use real AIF files and WAV files,
lossless,
so it won't be compressed, which I think is helpful, man, because people don't even realize. You know, I'm a little old school with the technology, and I've been doing it for a long time. But even a DAT player sounds better than an MP3, but people don't realize it because they never heard it. They never heard their music through a DAT player, and so now that these companies are going back, I mean, even what we're doing with our boombox is, you know, we're putting the music back in your hands. You know, it's not dependent on your phone. It's not dependent on if you got a Wi-Fi connection or not. You know what I mean? So those things are, you know, it's cool, but who wants to be dependent on something when you want it?
Right, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's talk about the reason you're here, which is the Wu-Tang Boom Bapics. This came out last year. Was it a limited run of 3,000? Is that the correct?
I think it did about 4,000 or 5,000 limited at first. Right. The Boom Bap Rex with A Better Tomorrow album embedded on it.
It came out 3 weeks before the album came anywhere else.
Yeah, it came out earlier than the album anywhere else, which was a unique idea. And then the new model, which you're holding in your hand, actually launches today.
Okay, this is the Rex Plus?
No, this is the Rex Plus. This is just more. Now we got more of these. Get another 10,000, 20,000 out there now.
Is that how big the reaction's been?
That's been a great reaction.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And this is playing lossless. Do you like the audio quality from this? Why did you go with Boom Bapics?
Yeah, this speaker actually, I think because the way that this speaker is built, more air is able to circulate through it. It's not kind of put together in a closed cabinet. So the chassis allows for more air to go through. So this is only like a 6-watt speaker, but it's pushing up 90 to 95 dBs of music out of it.
And you can output to this too. You can
output to it. The new model will not only come embedded with music, but it will come with a 2 gig chip in it. So you could just take your whole playlist from your phone and download it, have it in your boombox, let your phone be a phone, all right? And then take this one and jump in the water because it's waterproof.
So this one, it's got Better Tomorrow, but also has, if we call it a track, Bighorn Beats, only available on the Boom Bapics. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So is that still the case? It's 10,000 run, you'll get the only chance to see it. Is that song coming anywhere else in the future?
I don't think so.
How do you feel about that? Because like what we're talking now, and this also kind of gets into the secret album you guys did that's up for auction. It's, you know, most artists are trying to get their music out to everyone. It's the reason like Spotify, Pandora, iTunes has gotten so big. This is, we're talking about like in a very exclusive song. You can only get it if you get the album. How does that feel when you're trying to get to your audience? Like dedicated versus like just a broader scope?
I gotta say, I think that exclusivity is important in life. Right. You know what I mean? It's like when you look at a hot pair of Jordans, everybody don't got, you know what I mean? It's a limited run. You know, you think about guitars, you know, when they made the robot guitar by Gibson, it's a limited run. I had to go wait online to get mine, you know what I mean?
Right, but we're talking about like, that's a tangible object, like utilitarian function. This is art, this is expression. You feel there's a parity to that?
Even art becomes exclusive because if you look at, if you want to see the Mona Lisa, you better have a ticket to France.
But there are pictures of Mona Lisa.
But it's not the real thing.
That's right. All right.
So yeah, it's not the real thing. That's all I can say.
Fair enough. So I want to. This is where it kind of gets into the secret album, and I think I understand kind of the why you guys did that now. I just want to double check. Did it really go out for like $5 million? Is it gonna vault somewhere like overseas?
That was the highest offer that came in. I think I could take I had a gag order on me. I think I mean because I did a non-disclosure agreement with the auction house. But I think I could talk about him. Like, I mean, you want to be the first guy for me to?
I would love to know what happened to that album.
Man, I'm so nervous if I say this or not.
Well, you say
what if I get in trouble? You going to back me up?
Oh yeah, we have a great legal department.
We will back you up.
All right, gag orders. Like, what? So what happened to it?
No, we gave it to an auction house, and they're gonna handle the process. You know, I'm gonna say this. There's an auction house called Paddle 8. Have you heard of them?
I've not, but I'll look it up after this.
Okay, Paddle 8 is they're more modern like us. They kind of understand with the world we in.
Right.
They was a bunch of guys that I think maybe they was with Sotheby's or Christie's or one of the older places, and they learned the game and they moved on, you know, and they formed their own business. And they've been doing a lot of good auctions and a lot of good product. I think they did some great bones recently. They did some great things. Yeah. And what I liked about them was that they was, they were fresh with the idea. Like it wasn't like like they understood it. That's the most important thing about anything we do. If you collaborate with somebody that understands your vision, then the vision could be achieved. So even if you say, okay, we're going to build a wall, and it's going to have all these windows and all these colors in it, and if I don't see the vision, I could be potentially useless to you because I don't see the vision. So there is a group of guys that see the vision of what we're doing. They respect the idea of music being returned to art, and the same thing with Boom Bapics. To me, this is all part of this idea of making music tangible and making it have a value within itself, instead of just becoming something that, that is being devalued. Right. Now, I'm a big fan of technology. I've been a geek since 1986, exactly. Some of us wasn't born, you know what I mean? And I was spending all my paper money on gadgets, you know what I mean? And now we up to the level of streaming through Spotify and all these guys. And you can use this, of course. Spotify can be streamed through your Bluetooth speaker. Right. But the trick of it all, to me, is that somebody would go and pay $300 for a pair of headphones, $600 for a phone or for some device, and yet the device is most useful when music is playing through it, and you won't spend $1 for a song or $10 for an album. It's not logical, you know what I mean? Because the reason why you got these great headphones, the reason why you got these great gadgets is because of what it does for your media. Right. So now, if I end with this, but if the consumer don't pay attention to him devaluing his media, where's the new content going to come from?
That's right, but the interesting thing there, just to follow up that, is Wu-Tang is on Spotify, and we've seen them be like Taylor Swift and a horror label saying that is devaluing. The business model doesn't work. But you guys are staying on there. Is that something you guys are looking to? I mean, it's devaluation of quality, or?
Well, to me, I mean, what Taylor did was smart for her business. But to me, no, I like Spotify. I'm not it's like a new radio station. Right. So I like the fact that the music is accessible. But that's when you're listening. That's when you're in your car, or you're somewhere, just kind of going through it. But I also like you having the music. I like you having people don't have turntables, so I don't expect you to go buy a vinyl. People don't have cassette players, I don't expect you to buy a cassette.
If you put out an exclusive cassette, people will buy it.
Well, I mean, that'll be limited, but we all are reaching towards our Bluetooth speakers now. We all are looking for ways to hear our music. So how about you get the Bluetooth speaker, but you have your favorite artists, not just Wu-Tang. I think the whole music industry could use this. You think about if a company like Warner Brothers say, okay, we're going to take Warner Brothers' 100 classic rock and roll songs and put it inside a personal portable speaker for the consumer, so he could be somewhere. He don't have to depend on his phone or depend on the internet or depend on any other force to enjoy music.
Right. I actually want to go and talk about a little more background of Wu-Tang. You are the principal producer, not just for Wu-Tang, for a bunch of people. You do say you're a gadget person. What is your setup right now? What is your setup when you make beats?
Well, don't get jealous, anybody, okay? I'm a gadget geek, so I have multiple setups. Okay. So if you go in my dining room, which should be a dining room, I have the machine hooked up to my laptop.
What machine?
It's called the Machine by Native Instruments, yeah, which is very cool. And I use that if I'm eating, and I get an idea, I bang on the pads there. Now if you go up to my living room, it's just strictly digital piano, Kawai digital piano that records for composing music. Then if you go to the next room, right, I've got the new Motif Of course, I got the new Korg. There's a company out of Sweden. I'm mentioning them. They got the company's called Electron.
All right.
I got all their product.
You just have a room for Electron.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, they only make about 4 or 5 products, but I got every product they made. And then if you go to my studio, which is up in my guest house, that's where you'll find all my my rolling material. Of course, I love Pro Tools is industry standard, but I'm into Nuendo. I'm into Sonar, but I love Ableton. Ableton is, I think, is very unique on their approach to music programming. I didn't know about Ableton until Mikey Dean. He's a producer who works with Kanye. We was working on the album. He's like, I can do all the things in Ableton. And I was like, yeah, but I need to touch my stuff, right? But then I got the push that comes with it, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with that. Yo.
Has your style kind of evolved over the years? Have you do you see what you do now versus what you did back when like Wu-Tang first formed? You're talking like 20 years ago versus even like 10 years ago when you started doing like scores like Ghost Dog and beyond.
Yeah, I think my style has evolved, and I think I'm able to go back and forth. On the new album, you hear a song like Felt, where it sounds like I could have made that 20 years ago, or a song like Pioneer the Frontier. Those are the same drums from 36 Chambers. But then you hear a song like Ruckus in B minor, and you're hearing live instruments, you're hearing Ableton, you're hearing the Pioneer DJ set, you're hearing all these different elements to make that one song. You know what I mean? Technology causes us to be more creative and to experiment more. I mean, in the old days, just to get a quarter note delay, you had to patch one thing to another, patch another, walk over, twist it, and maybe get the tempo right. Now it's just like, yo, drag and drop.
Check box, drag and drop, easy, just like a dial. I hate to ask this, but I have to ask just because we saw things kind of happen late November. All y'all were going like doing interviews for Better Tomorrow, and you talked about this Wu-Tang pay tier. Can you set the record straight on that?
Wu-Tang what?
The pay tier, the different tiers. Can you set the record straight on this thing?
I mean, no, there was a pay tier.
All right. There was or there is?
Well, there was. I mean, it should be over. I agreed to not contest it for a year.
Okay.
Because I didn't agree with the tier system at all. I thought that it should be equality. Right. You know what I mean? That's what makes brotherhood. I know other bands in rock and roll, whether it's System of a Down, who I hang with, when I was hanging with John Frusciante, he told me, the Chili Peppers, everybody, we equal. Right. The Beatles broke up because they started talking about who wrote the songs and all this stuff like that, you know what I mean? Right. So I thought equality was the key to keeping a band together, because I know we all have a value. But anyway, I was outvoted, and everybody wanted the tier. Not everybody, the upper tier guys wanted the tier system, and so I said, okay, let's try it for a year. And my idea was, if it works, it works. But what happens if somebody on the lower tier becomes more valuable than a higher tier? Are we willing to switch the system? You know what I mean? Right. So these different equations came out, but I put myself on the lower tier. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I said, you know what? Because I don't agree with the concept. I said, just throw me in the lower tier, and I'll stay here for a year, and you upper tier guys go ahead and do yours. Now, here goes a little bad news about it. It didn't really work. The reason why it didn't work is because the upper tier started wanting to get upper. It's no end to it.
Cast on cast.
It's no end of it. Once you start something like that, and I understand that it works in basketball, it may work in football, but when you're dealing with a band like Wu-Tang Clan, and that means when they pay to see Wu-Tang Clan, they're not paying to see RZA, they're not paying to see RZA, they're not paying to see Method Man or Ghostface or Raekwon or Master Killer. They're paying to see all of us.
Right. All together. Okay. Are you guys going to tour anytime soon?
I think we will, and hopefully the system will be diminished by then. But if not, I'm just one voice. It's a democracy. If it was a dictatorship, I'd be like, yo, man, but it's a democracy, so I'll go with the votes.
It's your Beats, though. I mean, if you want to pull the It's My Beats card.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, it's not.
I do not want to break up the Wu-Tang Clan. I do not want to break up the Wu-Tang.
Have
you seen this thing called the largest vocabulary in hip hop?
I saw that.
What do you think about you and RZA and Raekwon? All y'all are top 20 right now. How does it feel to make some of the most sophisticated lyrics in hip hop?
That was very flattering, actually. You know what I mean? And even to have the other guy, Aesop, who I don't know his music. Yeah, Eastside. I knew him from some years ago, but I never really knew his music. But he had the highest.
Yeah.
So it just shows that for us, it shows a lot of work goes into what we're doing. I looked at it, I was like, well, I only had as a solo. I mean, because they didn't count Wu-Tang Clan, they only count our solo albums.
Right.
And I was like, well, I only had like 3 or 4 solo albums. Right? I had 3 actually.
Yeah.
And I made it in the top 10. So I'm about to drop some more albums. I might go move up a rank.
Just read a dictionary over 4/4 and see what happens.
I think they said unique words too. It's not only that you got to have a dictionary. For instance, I had a lyric that says, when I use the word achievement, rhyme with deviant.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think of words that have different kind of, context, but using words to define words. I like to do that when I write lyrics. Have a word, because you may not understand the first half of my sentence, so the second half explains it to you.
All right, we're getting the wrap-up signal, so I got one last question. What is next for you, and what is next for the Wu?
Well, this comes out this summer. The Boombox Rex Plus. 2 gigs of memory inside it. We're thinking about putting an album on it, so we'll see what happens, yo. But until now, I'm gonna have a great time at CES, and I'm happy to sit down with Verge. Thanks for having me, yo, and bong bong.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother.